Welcome to Mindfork. For the last few days I've been playing Minecraft. You know how it is, every year or so you'll get a burst of nostalgia and boot up the game for the first time in ages. And I'll be honest, I haven't played a proper game of it since high school, so a lot has changed since then. The Pale Garden, the Creaking, those trial rooms. I only just got used to the goat. Oh, no, goddamn millennials. The literal goat that appeared in 1.17, not whatever you're thinking about right now. Regardless, there was a time when my friends used to come to me about obscure recipes and other stuff they didn't know long before the recipe book got added to the game, because I was the dude that knew everything. You should have seen me with the 1.12 command blocks. God from the machine. Not so much anymore though. And so, to get back to my 15-year-old roots, I decided to go for a Minecraft video this time around, and why not start with the mascot itself, the Creeper, and find out how large of an explosion of theirs would be in real life. I actually debated on whether or not I would make a Minecraft theory video because I didn't want to get stuck in a niche if it, by some act of God, did well. Same for FNAF videos, I probably won't touch those ones either. But then I realised that I've had two very different videos blow up in my lifetime and never really followed up on either of them, so I do what I want, basically. But because I've kept Minecraft at bay and decided against my better judgment to throw caution to the wind and do one now, I ended up coming up with a whole bunch of ideas that I've sort of just put to the side. So if you like this one and want more mathy, real-life equivalent-esque Minecraft theory videos, that was a really long way to say it, or even just other game series, then let me know in the comments. Hit the subscribe button too, perhaps, and maybe even a little cheeky thumbs up while you're at it. Might as well, while you're down there, you know. We all know creepers. They're quiet little balls of fun that like to go fishing. And destroy your ship. When you stand about 2 to 3 blocks away from them, that's when they decide to blow up. Depending on how far away you are, you can either get out with a heart or two remaining, or just be completely obliterated. And so, to find out how powerful their explosions are in-game, I measured the depth of each of their craters. But then, my dumbass realised that different blocks have different strengths. A creeper explosion on a dirt surface is going to have a larger crater than one on a stone surface. So, having wasted 20 minutes, I decided to just look it up on the Minecraft wiki. And they say, normal creeper explosions have a power of 3. And like me, your response to that might be, what the hell does that mean? Well, everything that can explode in Minecraft is given a numerical value. Creepers are 3, TNT is 4, Ender crystals are 6. And when an explosion actually goes off, quite a lot of math happens in a fraction of a fraction of a second of a second. But I'll try to condense it. First off, a large grid is made around the source of the explosion. Then lines are drawn from the source to the outer edges. There's about 1,000 of them. Each individual line is told to multiply the power, in this case 3 for our creeper, with 0.7 and some other random decimal between 0 to 0.6. In this case, we'll use 0.3 because that'll turn our 0.7 into a nice clean 1. So, our line is acting with the randomly generated 1 times the creeper's 3, equaling 3, of course. And that is the number the line will have while it travels out. At that point, the goal is to get the line's number to 0. And it'll do this 2 different ways. The first is that every 0.3 blocks from the start of the line, the number will decrease by 0.225. So the longer it goes, the more the line's number goes down automatically. The second is that whenever the line hits a block, the line will do some more math. It will see what the blast resistance number of the block is, add 0.3 to it, and multiply it by another 0.3, which is then subtracted from the line. It will do this with every single block it encounters. That process happens over and over again until the line hits 0. So, what does all this mean? Well, I can't very well equate power level 3 to something in the real world if we don't know what that means, right? And if we're being honest, power level 3 doesn't actually mean 3. If we're being super specific, it means 0.7 plus a random decimal times 3. And that would help us get a more accurate value if we had some explosive material in Minecraft that was also in the real world. If only we had such a niche and perfect material for us to use, something that may or may not begin with T and ends in T and is not a teapot. TNT, welcome to the TNT portion of the video. I'm sure you knew it was coming. So, what are we doing? We need to figure out how much energy a TNT block would generate in a real-life explosion. Well, TNT releases about 4.184 megajoules of energy per kilogram. And to find out how many kilograms are in a cubic meter of TNT, since we all know by this point that a Minecraft block is a cubic meter, we need to look at the density of it first, as weight equals density times volume. The density of TNT is 1,600 kilograms per cubic meter. And so, hang on a second, cubic meter. Oh shit, so TNT is 1,600 kilograms per cubic meter. God damn, I love when math lines up like that. Oh, for completion's sake, the weight would be the density, 1,600 kilograms, times the volume, which is 1 cubic meter, which equals 1,600 kilograms, obviously. And so, since a real-life TNT explodes with 4.184 megajoules per kilogram, a whole block of it would explode with 6,694.4 megajoules, which would destroy everything in a 90-foot radius and still smash windows from about 500 feet away. And so now we know for certain that power level 4 equates to about 6,694.4 megajoules. To simplify this, we'll divide the 6,000-esque megajoules by 4, giving us 1,673.6 megajoules per power level. And so, a creeper being a power level of 3, or exactly 75% the strength of TNT, would mean that a creeper explosion generates 5,020.8 megajoules. Now, to put into perspective how insane that is, the blast radius of a creeper using these numbers is about 70 feet, and that's where everything goes to shit. Walls are coming down, doors are being blown in, trees are being ripped out of the ground. In summary, a complete no man's land within that 70-foot circle. Not to mention that it'd still be pretty rough from about 380 feet away, seeing as the shockwaves would still get you from that far. If you were in a building and a creeper exploded at ground level, you would still be thrown off your feet by the shockwave on the 40th floor, which would actually be the least of your problems, seeing as the bottom 7 floors don't exist anymore. Want to hear the worst part? This is a normal creeper, not a charged one. A charged creeper's explosion is 150 times larger than a TNT explosion. That would create a 100-foot fireball, obliterate everything within 230 feet, and still wreck your shit from over 900 feet away. If you were at the tippy top of the Eiffel Tower and a charged creeper went off on the ground, you would still feel the shockwave from it. And honestly, the whole thing would probably collapse too, seeing as the core of the fireball would quite literally vaporize everything around it, metal beams included, and the shockwave would do the rest. Compared to Minecraft's little baby 3 meters worth of damage, it overshadows it by a landslide. The fact that Steve can survive being that close to one when it goes off, and not only that, come out with all of his limbs intact, actually kinda tracks for him. Now that I'm thinking about it, given those other theory videos about how strong he is, or how fast he is, or whatever. Anyway, if you like the video, like the video. I plan to do a couple more of these at some point, but we'll see how that goes. If you've got any suggestions or want to Cunningham's Law me, then go right ahead. The comments section was made for it. Join me for the ride if you fancy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.